So then I move into our last 2 days. Day 10 was, well, disappointing for the United States, I will say. Canada beat the United States for the first time in 20 years in the
Oh,
Olympics.
20
Yeah,
years.
yeah, that's how it goes. So it was unfortunate. The women's team this year, I don't know enough about the team or just soccer, football in general to know, why exactly the team didn't perform as well as they should have. It seemed like, from again a person that doesn't know very much the ins and outs, that the team just, it was one of those things where they got too big for their own good. It didn't play, it's the same thing with the issue that you see with the USA, the men's team for basketball, is that there's too much talent and not enough like actual team play and teamwork. So I don't know if that's the case and that's what really was driving it. But unfortunately, that was the case in this situation where the United States ended up falling short of the performing, or I think they actually aren't going to be able to participate for a medal because of this loss. So, like, it's that bad where, like, we are not even going to medal after last year where we just blew every single team away by so many points that it was, like, actually sad to watch. This year, it's, like, very disappointing.
Yeah, that's unexpected, I guess.
Yeah, after watching their two scrimmage matches before the actual Olympics went underway, where they lost, I'm pretty sure both of them, it was
Yeah.
not looking good for them to start. And then obviously not being able to now medal in the Olympics is pretty sad. And it kind of feels like how the United States men's soccer team felt in the last World Cup, where they didn't even qualify because that they underperformed so well or so much.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it feels a little bit in this situation.
Huh.
So,
Yeah.
but in a lighter note though, another USA winner for the Olympic gymnast team, and again, this with her winning this medal, I think it's what solidified that the entire women's gymnastics team ended up with a medal, or at least went home with a medal, regardless of what it was. Is Jade Carey won her first gold, or wins the gold medal in, I believe it was the vault competition. So that was really cool as well. Because again, like I said, it's made sure that every single gymnast went home with a medal, which is awesome. Because to think about that, like, you sign on the team and you get invited to the team and you make the team, and then you were like guaranteed a medal essentially. Like, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
That's kind of cool. It's a cool picture too. That was found
yeah.
as well.
So just wanted to
Cinematic.
highlight that. It was, yeah, it's very well. Listen, it was probably the end of a performance or whatever. So, which would make sense with the pose that she's going there. But yeah, so that was really cool. And then another cool little thing, which you should recognize the name for this person.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you should. So transition it. So this is the winner of the hurdles. Her name from Puerto Rico is Camacho Quinn, and she happens to have another famous sibling by the last name of Quinn,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember.
who
Yeah, I do
happens to
remember
be
this.
Robert Quinn,
Yeah.
the defensive end for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
So
Well,
this is his sister.
yeah, I do remember actually hearing this come up. I didn't know she ended up winning. I saw that she was participating. That's cool.
Yeah, she won for Puerto Rico, which is really cool. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just thought that was really cool because I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Like, I love seeing families that are just so ridiculously athletically stacked.
Yeah.
Like, it's like looking at like the Gronkowskis or something, where it's like, or like the Watts, where like all three of them are in, all three of the siblings are in the NFL. It's like one of those where you're just like, man, what a freaking athletic family.
Yeah.
Like, my God, gifted. But anyways, yeah, she won the hurdles, so that was really cool. Won gold there. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
something
fun.
I wanted to
That's
highlight
funny.
there.
Hopefully, hopefully we hear more from Robert Quinn this season. So be even
Well,
cooler.
the good news is, Dylan, is from what I've heard in reports of training camp, is that he has basically said that he very well underperformed, and then people have said basically close that have known Robert Quinn for years have said that he looks like stronger and way more athletic and quicker than he's ever looked in past training camps. Like essentially as if like he was like, okay, I know I screwed up and I need to come back and become the Robert Quinn I am.
As
And
long
they
as he
said
doesn't
that
have that
he,
drop foot, yeah.
yeah, they said that like in the first season or the first like training camp practice, he pressured the quarterback a bunch and had a like a quote unquote sack. Like you're not allowed to sack a quarterback, but
Yeah.
he literally recorded a sack like in the first like practice of training camp.
Huh.
So he's like already been like showing basically that yeah, this is the Robert Quinn that we thought we were getting last year, which is exciting. So
Yeah. Cool.
but anyways, yeah, so that was really cool. And then last thing I want to cover, well, second to last thing, there's one more thing for day 10 is this is a cool story or just a cool thing I saw that was one of those things where I'm like, that's kind of cool. Is this Netherlands runner by the name of Hassan? She literally fell down during this race, fell down on the ground and got up and finished in first place in a heat. Like this is a heat. Like she didn't even need to finish in first place. She just had to like qualify for the next round. And she was like, "Nah, I'm just going to like destroy everybody and just win." So like
Yeah, that's embarrassing
imagine
for
like
everyone else.
imagine like bumping into her when she was falling and being like, "Oh man, that really sucks for that girl." And then just be like running and then just being like, "Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hey, you get back here."
Yeah.
She's like running by you.
Yeah.
So just
How do
what
you
an
pick
ant.
up the speed that fast?
Dude, I don't know.
Just that
That's
much
just
better?
yeah, just being very good at what you do, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, she ended up winning, and it was like a convincing win. Like it was not like a photo finish. Like she won by like a step or two.
What did she fall from?
I think it was just one of those where like, just people bump each other, or you like lose your footing, or it happens because it's like you get very like in those long distance races, everybody's really tight together because everybody's riding the inside lanes. Because
Right.
obviously that's less running you have to do if you're not on the outside. So in an Olympic race, every little bit counts. So I think it's just one of those where she might have banged somebody and then maybe she lost her footing or whatever it may be. But either way, she ended up falling and somehow ended up coming back and winning first in her heat. So crazy.
Shame on those other runners.
Yeah.
That she was
So
that much better.
and then another quick little note to end day 10 is that the NBA or the USA men's and women's basketball team both advanced to the next round, which is really good. And from all accounts, it looks like the men's basketball team is starting to actually perform at the level that they should be performing at, or at least playing more of like a team that we hoped to see rather than the individuals and that they represent. Because obviously, again, like we've said before, this team very much seems like just a star talented team that doesn't know how to play as a team, but it really does seem like they're coming to that. And the team that they beat in this round to advance was Spain, which is huge because Spain was the second highest rated team versus the US. So automatically beating like basically what is considered the next best team is pretty good for the United States going forward. So
What NBA players does Spain have?
they got like Ricky Rubio. Oh man, I'd have to look at the Spanish team to tell you.
So not like
Um
a lot of huge premier players.
no, they have some good players. Um hold on, let me just look this up because I they have a couple players. I know Ricky Rubio is like the point guard, obviously. Yeah, so Marc Gasol,
Okay.
Rudy Fernandez, Hernan Gomez, who was really good, Willie Hernan Gomez. You have Victor or Quinn Cologne. Oh man, hold on. Just looking. Basically you just have like they're like a really good team. Like they have some very good players. They've been better for sure in the past than they have been recently, at least in this Olympics. But they're just a very good team that always performs, pretty well in the Olympics. And enough to be considered usually the second highest rated team. So it's one of those where like to beat them moving forward is really good for us and is one that is going to be, really nice moving forward. So
Yeah.
Because obviously knocking off the second best team means that you might end up facing lesser competition in later rounds. Of course, you probably shouldn't think that way because that's when you lose. And we're a team that still doesn't quite know how to play as a team. We're getting there, but that is one of our weaknesses. So not go too crazy just yet.
Right. No, seems safe to me.
All right, final day. We're here. We're done it. We've caught up fully. I mean, today's day 12, so of course there's a lot of stuff that's happened today, I'm sure, but we're not going to cover that because we're just covering everything up to today. So we move to day 11, and right off the bat, we start off with a guy by the name of Warholm who dominated in hurdles and won the gold. And by the way that I mean dominated, I mean like his own world record that he had from before, he blew away. Like that's the kind of dominating that we're talking about. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Beating your own record seems almost no, it feels, I don't know, somehow less fulfilling, because you're not actually like you're competing against yourself instead of somebody else, I suppose.
yeah. No, I know.
Oh, there we go. Put that back. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's it. That's interesting. How much did you beat it by?
I think it was like 0.6 or something like that of a second.
Wow.
Which is like, doesn't seem like a lot, but like literally if you beat a world record by like 0.05, like that's pretty impressive. So like beating it by like, tenths of decimal spaces is incredible. So
Yeah.
hundredths of a second is crazy. Tenths of a second is like, jeez, dude, calm down. Why don't you spread some talent for everybody else? Like, so yeah, just an incredible performance for him. And again, another one of those things where probably not going to be highlighted a lot. So I wanted to highlight it because I was like, well, that's pretty crazy when you break your own record and you break it by a lot.
Have you ever tried to run hurdles before, just for fun?
No, I've never once ran a hurdle because I know how that's going to end.
Okay, I did run hurdles once or twice or whatever when I ran track or whatever. It's really weird because I thought immediately, probably like you, like that you were just gonna immediately fall on your face and like trip up immediately. And
Oh,
I didn't, and it felt more natural once you get into like the first motions of it. I think it's one of those things where like going up and down the stairs, like if you do it and you just don't think about it, it's easier. And that's kind of what happened
yeah,
with me because I just
I
like did
just
it. But it's weird.
I've just have never had a vertical in my life.
Yeah,
So like I don't
got it.
really foresee that being, like the height of my vertical in my most athletic state was probably like 20 inches,
Right.
which is like not great.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well,
yeah,
so
so
this was Luis Vasquez because he was like, oh hey, like try the hurdles, and I was like, okay, and then I tried him and stuff, but that was like his main event, and he was like, oh, you could probably try and do that, and I was like, I don't. I don't like that. I don't know. I feel like in a competition setting, I'm gonna fall straight on my face. Like that's when it's gonna happen. Like
yep.
practice field when nobody cares, that's different. But it's actually fun. I thought I would hate it, and I thought it would be really like messing up your knees and stuff and getting injured. But it's weird. It's a really weird feeling.
I mean, I'm
So
sure it's
respect.
like I'm sure again in competition it's extremely difficult to compete at a high level doing
Hmm.
it. But yeah, I never thought to do it because I was like, I feel like that's not gonna end well. Like I just am not,
Right.
you know, me big offensive lineman, no jump hurdle. Like that's how that works for
Right.
me. So
No,
like
smart.
I'm just gonna mindlessly angrily block the person in front of me. Not really great for like dexterity type of moves like that.
Right.
But anyways, why do you have that on the screen? Is that in the oh it is in the 11. Oh, this is when she came back. Okay. Oh, I'm an idiot. All right, I don't even know my own notes. Jeez. Look at that. So yeah, Simone Biles highlighted her for a final time. This is when she decided to come back and participate in the last events that she was eligible for, I'm pretty sure. And she ended up finishing bronze in the what's it called? Balance beam.
Yes.
So, which is good for her because again, balance beam, you do the when she's doing things on it that like other people don't attempt. It's pretty, again, your mindset has to be in the right, setting and everything. And so for her to be able to step away and still come back and perform, same kind of how I felt about Naomi Osaka, where you step away from something like that and you're able to still perform at a high level is incredible. So the fact that she was able to walk away with a bronze medal still after stepping away is, you know, pretty impressive and really just good for her.
Did you think it was interesting that she talked about she was I just saw an update on the side, but that she had like a, I don't know if it was like if they did talk about it as like a mental block or whatever, but she like it was literally called the twisties, where she either had a mental block or like a physical block where she couldn't seem to land the twist perfectly. But she
Yeah.
also was she just said that she thanked like I think a random Tokyo gym that she basically worked in secret, and then she was like training in secret there to like get over the mental block or whatever that she needed to get over. So that
Yep.
was kind of cool as well. She had like a hideout gym where she just worked on it, just completely away from media, away from teammates, all that.
Yeah, that's what we call in baseball the yips. That's
Yeah,
where you just
exactly.
there's a mind block where like you should be able to do what you're doing. Like you're capable of doing it, but you're just something isn't clicking and you're not able to. And that's yeah, in baseball it's called the yips because it's literally it happens to athletes all over the place because yeah, it's there's a mental side to every athletic sport that you play. You know, I was joking about being an offense lineman and being angry, but like I was way better when I was angry. So like if I wasn't actively like angry and like I'm gonna do this, then like I wasn't performing to my best. Same as like other other sports. If you're not in the right mental state to be performing at the level you're supposed to perform at, then you're not going to perform as well as you can. And there sometimes happens to be things like that where it's unexplainable, mental blocks, like you said, that just you have to get over. And so yeah, so it's incredible if that is the case, and that's what it really was, is that she had like kind of a mental block. It's pretty incredible that she was able to get over it that quickly. And that's just again a testament to the athlete and person that she is, that she was able to. And so that's really shout out to her for all that. And I wish her the best success moving forward. And again, she still put on a good show, through the events that she was performing in. And I continue to will enjoy to continue to watch her.
Yeah. No, that's
So
I just think that's crazy on the side that you'd also be like training just to get rid of and trying to get over that at the same time. And it's got to be a weird feeling to just be anywhere else that you'd be going or anywhere in the same area. People would just be following you, following you, and then just finding a small reprieve from that and just sticking to it. So that was
yeah.
kind of cool of her to shout that out.
And then we'll move on to a couple last things. So, really cool that Slovenia is continuing its streak with Luka at the helm. They're advanced to the semifinals, which is incredible because again, this is literally their first performance in the Olympics ever as a men's basketball team. And of course, it helps when you have probably one of the top 5 players in the league or, in the entire world, let alone in the NBA playing for your team. So yeah, that does help, and that's gonna, he's carrying that team and really taking command. And Luka's definitely like I've talked endlessly about how I called Giannis being as good as he was because when he got drafted, I was like, oh, that kid's gonna be great. And I said that to Craig. Luka's one of the people that I definitely will take an L on because I thought Luka was a little too slow for the NBA. I thought his movements and everything, I thought he was just a little too slow, where his game was just going to be defendable. Not in the way that I'm like, not saying that like he was going to be completely shut down, but just that like a good defender would be able to, limit what he was able to do on the court. And I was completely wrong because his game incredibly well translated to the NBA, and he just became one of the best players in the league. So like I said, as much as I take the W on Giannis, I will take the L on Luka, and I would love to see Luka in Slovenia against the United States. I don't know if that's 100% even possible, but if it is, I hope that it happens because that would be incredible to watch that gold medal match. So
Which, by the way, if you want to follow Slovenia, they are playing France at 6 a.m. tomorrow, August 5th.
wow.
So that's their next game. If they keep up winning, they could still win a gold. I think it's France and then Germany next, if
Huh,
Google's right. Yeah, men's quarterfinal, semifinal. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm
that's
sorry.
pretty.
They played and beat Germany. So France is who they're up against next.
Oh, okay.
Just your
France,
classic
France
time,
is
6 in the morning.
France is a very good team. They're the ones that beat the United States in like one of the scrimmages before
Oh,
the
okay.
Olympics.
Yeah.
So they have good players on that team all over. So that's not surprising, and that would be a good matchup. Actually, that's gonna be a fun game to watch.
Bright and
So
early. You could still catch it if
yeah, I
you
think I'll
want
be
to.
I think I'll be probably on my way to work during
Yep.
like the halftime. So, but yeah, so just a cool story. And then we'll finish with this will be our last Olympic story because the last note of my notes we already kind of covered previously.
Sure.
So this is Gabby Thomas who finished with the bronze in her, well, I forget what race it was. I don't know if it was hurdles or if it was just a race. But anyway, she finished with the bronze. Still a very good showing for her, especially being a person who's like studied neuroscience and just one of those
Really?
people that's just incredibly gifted past anything that like, I'd hope to achieve kind of thing.
Just makes you feel like garbage usually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just one of those people, but really just a very cool athlete to highlight and all of her achievements and everything she does. And I hope she's in the next Olympics because that'll be a name that I'll be looking out for if she is. So, and I like catching Olympians like seeing Olympians when they're young because then it's fun to follow their career through the Olympics,
Sure.
especially like a Gabby Thomas, seeing her like as young as she is. I look forward to seeing her more experienced, even maybe in better shape and even better than she was this year in the next Olympics, and that's going to be fun to watch. Let alone her getting a bronze and being the genius that she is, or the intelligent person that she is.